So the guy was actually able to get to the ball and did a very good cross-court dink and post me wide, but I was actually able to get to it quickly enough. And here, I could have chosen to do a proper ATP, but instead, I did this dink shot, this dink ATP. And the reason why I did this dink ATP is because I was hesitating. I wasn't sure if I should do a dink back this way to the middle, or dink in front of this guy, or I should have full ATP down this way. I had three options. I mean, the easiest shot to actually do is the ATP, but because in my drills I don't practice ATP enough, I didn't feel comfortable with this shot, and that actually caused a hesitation. As a result, I was hesitating, trying to decide if I should dink it back over the net or do an ATP, and that hesitation resulted in me hitting this dink ATP, which was probably the worst thing I could have done in that situation. I could have hit just a normal dink back here, or ATP whack it. It would have all been better than a shot I ended up doing. So the learning I got from this is that when I'm in a tournament in the future, once I commit to a shot, whatever that shot comes up in my mind, I'm gonna have to commit to it, because confusion and hesitation is the worst thing that could happen when you're in the tournament game. Okay, I'm gonna let a point play out. I just missed it. Okay, next point. Okay. So the guy drives the ball. It was a very high drive, but my son got to the kitchen very quickly. He was able to stabilize his body and hits a beautiful two-handed backhand volley. It was a little high because the ball was quite high, but the ball did land in right at the guy's foot. And they tried to drop it. Again, quite high. My son was able to punch it down with a nice forehand volley, and they managed to get the ball back again. I think at this point, my son was probably losing a little bit of patience. He really tried to, because he hit two good volleys previous to this, and we were not able to end the points, and he was maybe trying to do a little bit too much. He overdid it a little bit, which is a common thing that a lot of players do, including myself. When you're in the match, when you're in the game, you find yourself being in an advantageous position. You're keeping your opponents back at the baseline. You keep hitting good volleys at them. They keep getting the ball back to you. A lot of us will start to lose patience, and we try to do a little bit too much because we're trying to rush and hit the winner. And as a result, that's actually going to make you more prone to error, and you end up losing the point. So I think the right mindset to be in that situation is just to keep hitting the ball back to them, keep doing what you've been doing leading up to that point. Don't try to overdo it. Don't try to hit winners. Be patient. Eventually, because you have to think about it, if you're at a kitchen with your teammate, the other team is way back at the baseline, you have a much higher chance of winning that point. You're in a much more advantageous position. So there's no reason for you to be impatient. You just have to keep hitting the ball back to them with maybe 60 or 70% of the power, keeping them back. They're going to be more likely making a mistake than you, because hitting a drop shot from the baseline to the kitchen is way harder than you standing there just punching the ball back at them. So my son tries to overhead it a little bit. It was a very good angle. I like his placement, but it missed the baseline long by just a little bit. Next point.